In the meantime, North Carolina State Board of Education meeting today. We're just about a month out from what's supposed to be the start of school, but these numbers leaving districts with the tough decision of trying to figure out what they should do. Should they open up or not? Wake Up Charlotte's Chloe Leshner now live for us. And Chloe, this has got to be just maddening for parents because they're just wanting answers at this point. They've got to plan their lives and their kids' lives this fall.
Yeah, exactly, Ben. Whether or not kids get on these school buses and head into the classroom will dictate what life looks like in the fall. Some parents are nervous to send their kids back. Others say remote learning would disturb their working schedules. The state not taking any of that lightly as they weigh the options.
Summer is in full swing, but everyone's focused on the fall, wondering what school will look like. The North Carolina State Board of Education will meet today and go through the facts. State health officials have said the data is promising.
The emerging scientific evidence suggests that going to school is less of a risk as we think about the potential spread of COVID-19.
Schools will be required to accommodate students with special health care needs and create a process for students and staff to self-identify as high risk and have a plan to address requests for alternative learning arrangements. The school board will also suggest that school districts allow families who are not comfortable going back to have the option of remote learning. Governor Cooper has not announced his plan yet, but President Trump says he will put pressure on governors to reopen schools in the fall.
But now it's time to be open. It's time to stay open, and we will put out the fires as they come up, but we have to open our schools. It's so important to open our schools.
And something interesting that school board members will hear today, studies out of China, Singapore, and Hong Kong suggest that closing schools did not help control the spread of coronavirus. That meeting starts at 10 o'clock this morning. Live in Charlotte, Chloe Leshner, Wake Up Charlotte.
You know what? And a reminder of just how much we don't know about this thing and how exactly it works. All right, Chloe, thank you for that.